Tornadoes are hugely destructive and can cause massive losses of life and property. So there is quite a bit of research into how a tornado can be destroyed or dissipated before it does significant harm. One of the most popular theories is to use a large-scale explosion, bomb, or rocket to neutralize a tornado, basically by counteracting the massive wind power with a different form of energy. But would it work? Could we use an explosion to stop a tornado? There remains some uncertainty as to how exactly tornadoes form, making their prediction rather uncertain, unlike hurricanes and other tropical storms, which tend to have longer lifespans. Some tornadoes can form and disappear within seconds, while others may rage for over an hour. A tornado forms when there is a hot layer of atmospheric air covered by a relatively cold, dry bank of air above it. When the warm air rises due to its temperature, it pushes up on the cold air above. These are similar to the conditions for a thunderstorm, but when extreme winds are also involved, causing the updraft of air to rotate, you get a supercell thunderstorm, which is the primary source of tornadoes. These rapidly spinning updrafts can extend down to the ground, which is when the destruction truly begins. There is an incredible amount of energy and force in a tornado, and as it moves, winds of over 100 miles an hour tear up everything in its path. Clearly, the huge amount of energy produced by a tornado would require an impressive solution, but an explosion? The idea behind an explosion being detonated in the heart of a tornado, or directly in its path, stems from the idea of disrupting energy flow. By changing heat flow and wind movements through the detonation of a powerful explosion in the path of a tornado, one could disrupt the energy of the twister and eliminate the threat. However, by eliminating one twister and making the conditions unfavorable for a tornado in one location, there's no way of knowing whether a new tornado would simply form in its place, perhaps 100 meters away or a mile. Also, the consequences of launching a rocket near a domestic area, which would be the only reason to use this sort of large-scale force to prevent casualties, would pose its own risks, such as collateral damage of property and human life. The proximity that such response infrastructure would require also makes the idea of detonation defenses quite impractical. So while bombs don't seem like a great idea, researchers have been developing methods of stopping tornadoes by changing the conditions in which they're formed. One of the most interesting ideas consists of solar power collecting satellites in space, beaming their collected energy in a concentrated form, such as microwaves, at large storm fronts. This could cause the cold, dry air to heat up at the top of supercell storms, preventing the updrafts that create tornadoes. Another wilder theory suggests the use of mirrored lenses on Earth to heat up the atmosphere in certain areas, effectively diverting the paths of tornadoes and large storms away from inhabited or protected areas. Again, the precision, timing, and infrastructure required for such solutions are a bit difficult and expensive to achieve, but not impossible. Even so, until a better and less explosive solution is found, you should just duck and cover and hope the storm passes over.